People have touched hogs and showed hogs and raised hogs and all. It is just an instant connection. So please welcome Lacy Basford.
All right. So I think we're a few minutes ahead of schedule, so I have a few more minutes to talk. Yes, I do. I think I have a special sign down here that says "shut your mouth," so I'm hoping I don't get to see that today. All right, so listen. So if you were here last year, then you know that I hated any form of physical exertion growing up. Does anybody remember that? I hated running and all that kind of mess. Well, there's something else that I know you just are dying to know about me. Because you just love useless information about me, don't you? You do. Humor me. You do, don't you? All right, and you're going to get it. Okay. Growing up, I hated anything that related to the outdoors. I kind of still do. Bugs, dirt, sweat, you name it, I hate it. And guess what? I married a farmer. But he's a farmer who lives in a neighborhood now on less than an acre. So do you know what that gets you every year? That gets you a garden in your backyard. And so it feeds Jonathan's need to grow things, and it feeds my need to eat, so we're all happy. However, there are a lot of things that a garden can teach us when it comes to working our premier businesses, okay? So bear with me because it's kind of a corny illustration, but I promise you it's good. I want you to think about the task of a gardener. It's very similar to the task that you have as your premier jewelry gardener in your own jewelry garden. Both will study the environment, define a purpose, prepare a place that is conducive for growth, get the right plants or people in to be able to fulfill that purpose, and tend to each plant or person to help them grow and bear fruit. A garden is made of many single plants that need food, light, water, and nurturing. And likewise, your premier business is made of many individual people who need you to serve them and to nurture them to help them grow. Okay? Now, who are these people? These people that you serve day in and day out fall into pretty much 4 categories. And they are your customers, and they are your hostesses, and they're your downline, and they are your fellow premier sisters sitting right here in this room and across the country. So we're going to look at some ways you can serve each of these plants so they thrive, and in between the thriving, the funny thing is, it brings you life-giving joy. All right? So first and foremost, so before I go into these 4 areas, I want you to know that each area of your garden, no matter who you're dealing with, they thrive, they have a need to thrive and be fed. It's built on one crucial thing. And do you know what that crucial thing is? It's it is true, Jesus, yeah, but I'm going to get to him in a minute. It's relationships, though. It's relationships, but that was good. All right, think about Premier for just a minute. Is anything that Premier does based on money? No. When you are being recognized, whether it is from Quick Start to promotions and leadership, it is always based on the people that you have touched by serving them, whether it is through your home show or whether it is through sponsoring. It all goes back to the relationships that you are building. So I want you to remember that people and the relationships that you develop over time are the most important asset to your business. And here's the crazy thing. When you focus on the people and you focus on the relationships, what does God do? When you're not even looking, He's taking care of every need you have. We are able to really serve others through the relationships that we develop, okay? So let's look at that first area. And the first area of service that you do goes to the heart of our businesses, and they are our hostesses. Everything rises and falls on your what? Home show. These hostesses are taking time out of their busy schedules and are putting themselves out there to open their homes They're saying, okay, you can come and meet my friends and you can come and eat my brownies. That's what they're saying. They're taking a risk to have you in there. So you want to treat them with appreciation and thankfulness. It's our job to serve them. So from the beginning, I'm going to show you a few ways that we serve our hostesses. And the first thing we do as soon as somebody books a show, we send them this little postcard here. If you can see this. Can you see it? Okay, so this is just a thank you note, and it's going to remind them of the date that they booked their show. And we send this right away, whether they book 6 months out or whether they book 2 weeks out. and just tells a little thank you note. But here's the reason I really like this. Do you see how it has a picture of our family on here? So this picture, to me, serves two purposes. Number one, it helps deepen my relationship with them, because when they leave that show, they may or may not remember. Most of the time they remember me, but they may not remember what I look like, so it helps them see that crazy jewelry lady's face. And also my kids are on here, so it's kind of like a subtle message. If they don't hold their show, then my kids aren't eating. So I really like to give them that, okay? So that's why I do that, and they're really cheap print, so there you go. Another way of serving our hostesses and show them our love and appreciation is by mailing invitations for them. Now I'm going to tell you, I live in Gainesville, Florida, okay? It's where the University of Florida is. Go Gators. And it's a very transient town. It's a younger population, and so rarely do I ever mail invitations, even though I really try to get them to do it. But about 5 or 6 times a year, I will mail invitations for my hostesses, but it's still a service that I offer, because here's why I love it. If I can mail their invitation, guess what? They holding that show, or they're going to be super embarrassed having to call all their friends, okay? So I like getting to do that. Now, if they don't want me to mail invitations, regardless of what they want, every hostess of mine gets 40 handout invitations. And why I like for her to have these is she can keep them in her purse, and as she sees people when she's out and about, she can personally invite them and hand them a physical reminder of her invitation, okay? Now, another reason I really like this is because it gives me another excuse to go and meet her. And so those moments of building relationships with your hostesses happen during times like that. So I'll just call her, just like you heard earlier. I'm not going to say, I need to come and bring you 40 handout invitations. When will you be available? I say, hey girl, it's Lacy. I got something for your show. Can I come see you around 5? What you doing? Okay, so you want to just make sure it's just building that relationship with her again. Another way, too, is with our new websites. You can easily send out beautiful email invitations as a follow-up to that physical invitation that I have given her. And it's a beautiful way for her to keep track. Another great tool I found for if you have a smartphone is the Red Stamp app. Who has that in here? It's a wonderful app, especially for reminders. So it's easy to create. You can put pictures of our jewelry on there and create a little reminder, text it to your hostess, and then she can text that reminder out to her friends. It's absolutely a free tool for you, and it takes 2 seconds. So I love the Red Stamp app. Another thing that you're going to do to serve your hostesses is hostess coaching, and Dana just so eloquently went through excellent tools for you to use while you're hostess coaching. Now, I am going to jump down on my notes a little bit and just kind of tell you, last year, one of my goals was to, one of my New Year's resolutions for my business was to get better at hostess coaching. And so we homeschool our kids, and we are home with them all day. And so, who in here would say, ain't nobody got time for that? Would anybody say that? So, that was my excuse for the longest time. So the beauty of Premiere is that you can fit Premiere to work around your life, and you can do your life and you can do Premiere, and it just kind of all meshes together and it works, but you got to intentionally make it happen. So that means this. When we don't have time, with small kids it's hard. So I may hostess coach in the Walmart parking lot. If I need to go to Walmart, I may hostess coach her at her place of work. I may hostess coach her while my kids are playing on the Chick-fil-A playground. So I may not be home hostess coaching her, but I am building that relationship with her, and I am letting her know and reminding her of all the great benefits that happen at her jewelry show, and also reminding her of why she loves me. So I don't call her and I don't say, hey, I need to come and hostess coach you. I call her and I say, hey girl, I got to give you a couple of things for your show. What are you doing around 6 o'clock tonight? And then I go and I meet her wherever she's at, and we plan our family life. Sometimes that means the kids are with Jonathan in the car watching a movie for 2 hours, but you know what, it works. I also have to share another service with you that you could offer your hostesses, which on more than one occasion has totally changed my business, and that is by offering fundraisers. You may have Susie too cool for school and she just can't do a home show, but she may be willing to do a show that's going to benefit something that's near and dear to her heart. So you can offer a fundraising opportunity that she would like to take advantage of. So I have a place on my guest survey that gives them the option to check, I would love to come to do a fundraiser for your favorite organization or charity, and half of all my profit goes right back to your organization. And they could check mark that if they want to do that. And this is what I choose to give personally. You have a very generous 50% profit with Premier, and use a little of that profit to not only give back to others, but help your business in return, okay? I've done fundraisers for Relay for Life, homeschool groups, youth groups, battered women's shelters. Some people have done Humane Society. You name it. People are looking for money. Who's looking for money in here? There you go. Okay. This connects you with different groups of people. And actually, I have a jeweler sitting here right now from St. Augustine. Where's she at? There she is right there. She's my new jeweler. Okay, I would have never met Cynthia had I not done a fundraiser for the law school in Gainesville that somehow led me to St. Augustine shows. And there she is. So it's truly opened up doors for me that I never knew could be opened. I also typically give $50 cash back to the organization for every booking that I receive from that home show. Now, do you have to give $50 cash? No. You could give 10. You could give 25. It really doesn't matter as long as you're enticing people that you've never met before to do a home show in a totally new circle. It can literally change your business. So what you going to do this year?
Fundraiser.
Oh, y'all are so good. All right. All right, number 2, the second area of people in your Premier Jewelry Garden that you can serve are your customers. Remember, people are the most important thing. They're the most important asset. If your jewelry table looks like a hot mess when that first person walks through the door, I don't give a rip. You stop what you're doing, because who's the most important person? They are. Remember, a good name is better than riches. The jewelry will sell, trust me. But a relationship begins from that first moment of contact. Get to know them. A great icebreaker is asking how they know the hostess, or offer to get them a drink, or ask what they do during the day, or just hug their neck. Whatever you do and whatever you're comfortable with, just make a connection with them. You also want to make them feel special. So I give out tickets for a grand prize drawing through my purse game, and I also just randomly give out tickets for random things, okay? So if somebody walks in and they've got cute shoes, I'm going to say, girl, you get a ticket for those cute shoes. Or if they say, I just love your hair, that's brown, I'll say, oh, girl, you get a ticket for that. If they're oohing and on over my jewelry, they're going to get a ticket for that. I'm trying to find each person something really special about them that I can just kind of recognize them and give them extra tickets for, okay? So don't be boxed in. Relationships are also built at the jewelry table and checkout. One thing that I strive to do is have one-on-one time with each person at the jewelry show. Just like Stephanie was saying earlier, how sometimes she just gets down on the floor and does life with them. That is what it's all about. That is where relationships are built. I want them to know that I care about them as a person, and this means that I may be at the jewelry table helping them try jewelry on, or I may be suggesting jewelry, or I may just be talking about life. I was at a show in November, I think, and I was sitting there, and I tried to get her to do a show, and Little Heifer still didn't book a show, but she was checking out, and I was talking. I was really trying to talk her into doing a jewelry show, just to be real honest with y'all. And so I was just talking to her and just making small talk, and come to find out, her husband had been in a near-fatal accident, and she had not really left her house in over 6 months, except to go to work because she was caring for him. And she said, I just can't do a show right now. And then she started crying. And she said, but thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to have fun and to laugh and just forget about my life for a little bit. And that, folks, is what it's all about. I'll see her again at another show and get her to go, Ben. But that's what it's about. It's about those relationships. And most importantly, I want you to treat each person the same, regardless